My name is Rabbi Schonbuch. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist right here in New York and around the world via Skype. This is the second on a series of internet addiction, and today I'd like to focus on the question of what indeed is addiction. How do I know if I'm an internet addict? Well, to begin with, there is a difference between overuse of the internet versus addiction. And I want to be very clear. Not everyone that uses their cell phone every day for a few times a day would be considered an internet addict. And in fact, not everyone that looks at their phone every few minutes for communication purposes, for perhaps some information, or something more important to do with research, or helping somebody medically, or for legal purposes, or even a rabbi to open up his phone and look for a shaila, is not considered to be an internet addict. What is internet addiction? In fact, what is addiction in general? There are two things which define addiction. Number one is tolerance, and number two is withdrawal. What are these two simple factors? Tolerance is very, very simple. Let's take the model of an alcoholic. Let's say somebody every day when they feel stressed, they come home from work, has 1 cup of wine. They have that cup of wine for 1 day, they have it for 2 days, for a week. They've had 7 cups of wine, 1 cup a night. Comes the 8th day, they have a difficult time at work, they're feeling stressed. They come home, they reach for that bottle, but 1 cup does not suffice. What do? They have 2 cups the first day, 2 cups the second day. In fact, they have 2 cups the entire second week. That means they've had 14 cups of wine. The third week, they increase to 3 cups of wine. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call tolerance. 1 day, 1 cup is enough. The second day doesn't suffice. You have to take 2 cups and more and more. That means the same power that alcohol, or for that matter, the internet had on you on 1 day, you need that much more afterwards to survive. 2 is withdrawal. Withdrawal means like this. When you stop using whatever substance or device or behavior that you're addicted to, you start getting withdrawal. Withdrawal can be seen by people shaking, sweating, having a racing heart, panic attacks, and so on. It's a known physiological factor, and those that withdraw from alcohol can get into a very serious condition of withdrawal that can actually be severely life-threatening. Therefore, it should be done under medical supervision. But the same can take place with internet addiction. So you have to ask yourself that question. Can you really, really stop? I challenge everyone out there to examine these two things. Did they start using the internet, and I mean by that also the use of their cell phone, just a little bit of the day? Did it increase more and more? Is it every few seconds you're looking at your phone or the internet? Is it every few minutes? Is it every few hours? Has it increased from a few minutes to many hours a day, to leaving work and spending the whole evening on your cell phone? And friends, look around at your life. It's amazing if you would just film yourself when you walk in the house. Your children want to see you. Your wife, your husband wants to spend time with you. How many times do you look up at your phone when you should be looking at the eyes of your children or in your spouse as well? This is so incredibly important to think about. Are you now tolerating and need more and more of your internet to feel that you're okay? That might be one sign of addiction. The second sign of addiction is withdrawal. And many people say, oh, I don't need my phone, I could live without it. Try it, for example. If it's true, I want you today to commit. Put away your phone when you come home from work or from the office for 1 hour tonight. From 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, doesn't really matter. And I want to see you do it. Now you may have some withdrawal symptoms. I can tell you the first withdrawal symptom. It's called phantom beeping, phantom buzzing. You're going to look and you're going to see, is my phone ringing? People say they think they hear their phone is ringing. It's a form of a withdrawal from an addiction. They're so used to the stimulus of it, they still crave the sensations of the internet. But I want you to stop that for 1 hour. Commit to that one special hour. I promise you that if you give it up for 1 hour, you're going to start feeling a certain amount of pleasure in your body and in your mind, a certain sense of calmness. As we spoke about in the first video in the series, you need to commit to sobriety. I'm not going to be controlled by my phone anymore. I'm going to put it down. I invite you to examine yourself to see if you just have a bit of internet abuse, as we call it, or is it a real full-blown addiction. Try to limit your use. Cut it down every day. Stop it for at least 1 hour a day. And if you can do that effectively, we know this is not internet addiction. It's a behavior in your reach. All you need is to exercise your free will and power, and I guarantee you more success in getting on top of your internet and cell phone use. Welcome to this new series on Hidabrut called Marriage Matters. My name is Rabbi Schonbuch, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist based in New York and around the world via Skype. On this important series, I will be answering your questions you have about marriage, relationships, dating, parenting, and about any issue dealing with family and relationships. But more than what I have to say, I want to hear what you have to say. So please email to this address and send in your questions, and I'll try to answer as many questions on this new show.